Welcome to another Pre-Engaged Hindsight interview. We are your hosts, Eric and Heather Beats. Today, we have James and Amelia Ireland. They're currently living in Laguna Niguel, California. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Excellent. They completed our pre-engagement counseling program in March of 2017, our premarital counseling program in July of 2017, and we're married in August of 2017.
Is a year.
Yes. So, the first question is, would you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and provide a brief background on how and when you met, when you started dating, and your engagement story?
Okay, so we met at UCI, University of California in Irvine, at a Bible study. And we were friends for several months, during which time James didn't know my name. And he kept asking me, and I thought that he was joking. He wasn't joking. But anyway, eventually 2 weeks before I graduated, he finally asked me out.
Excellent, excellent.
And so then we were long distance for a couple of years, and in 2016 he proposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. How did you propose, James?
I proposed. Plan A was to do it the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. So we went there and looked around. It was way too noisy.
It was fun.
It wasn't. I'm like, this isn't right. So then later, Plan B, I went. We randomly decided to go on a moonlight walk or a midnight walk, which
It wasn't midnight. It was like 10.
Oh, whatever. It was out of the ordinary. Whatever.
It was.
We went to a park with a pond. It was nice near her grandma's house.
That's where he was staying.
Yeah. And
but we had to stop along the way to get a special beverage.
So she had no idea. No idea at all.
I totally knew the whole day.
Well, whatever. It was nice. She did get thrown off on the boardwalk, though, so that was the one plus for me. It was hard because I knew that for the timing of things, we were meeting up north instead of down south where I live. So I didn't have any opportunity to scope out a place or do any of that. So it was all very much, I tried to research a little bit, but then it's just like I got to make do with what I have. So.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So what primarily influenced you to commit to the pre-engagement and premarital counseling services that we offered? And 2.5 years later, are you still glad that you made that investment?
So the biggest benefit for us was because we were long distance. I was in Orange County. She was in Philly. So we needed someone who was, online on Skype. So you guys worked out really well for that. Also, it's good to kind of have a head start on marriage stuff. There's a lot of things that seem obvious, but then you realize they're not. So I think it was been very helpful.
Oh, so your program is comprehensive. If we were only getting counsel from the pastor who was going to marry us, that would have been problematic again because long distance. He was up in NorCal. We were in SoCal by that point. I'm in California, Southern California, for those of you not savvy with California. And so that would have been a 1, maybe 2 time thing. And that they covered different aspects than what y'all tend to cover.
Yeah, he wouldn't have talked about money stuff at all, and that's a very important thing in marriage that no one talks about for some reason.
Yeah, I very much agree. Well, other than our pre-engagement and premarital programs, how did you prepare for married life?
I listened to a lot of Focus on the Family broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I read books that you guys didn't assign. I read blogs. I listened to my married friends and older people in my churches talk about how they prepared and what their lives were like, and I just observed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember you being a very heavy researcher,
mm-hmm.
and I thought you were probably very prepared.
Yeah.
It's
a good thing.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I didn't do any extracurricular reading. Everyone I knew, my parents, my family, friends, everyone, no one, very sparse for preparation. So I felt like I was ahead of the curve taking this class.
Amelia, what are one or two books that you really valued that we didn't assign you?
Wow, it's been a long time.
That's okay. You can think about it along the way. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I don't remember. I have a list of books I read during that time, but I don't have it in front of me.
No, that's okay.
That's totally fine. So how important are shared goals and shared mission in marriage been for you two?
Hasn't really. We are not goal people.
Okay.
I feel like that's a plus though, because neither of us are, so neither of them have that expectation of like having a high-powered career or whatever, ending up in a McMansion, I guess, in 10 years or something. I don't know the roadmaps people have. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just neither of us are that, I don't know, value that, I guess, enough.
Well, for me, I know how to do it. I had to take a class on this at school.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extra burden to me. And so I am not the sort of person who likes to check things off a list. I make a list so I don't forget what I need to get done, not so that I can just check something off. Mm-hmm. So I am very much type B, and so is he, so that can get interesting. Mm-hmm. But he's type B without the lists. Yeah. So anyway.
I just randomly get inspired to do things
at very, very bad times.
Well, it works.
I can relate to that, James.
Yeah, we're
doing okay.
Type A and type B. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I get inspired at like 3 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, to what or to whom do you attribute your marriage's success?
Sunday school answer, Jesus. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
We committed to be committed at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So what is success? Is it just staying together? Is it being happy together? What's your benchmark?
But, however you define it, yeah.
That was a rhetorical question, but yeah. So we believe that just being committed is more than half the battle. And that, if you've already decided that you're going to work problem, whatever the problem is, then it's going to work out, even if it's not the ideal solution. Yeah,
you put as much personal effort as you can. You trust God with the rest. There's plenty of times where things are rough or you have doubts, but in the end, most of those moments relied on that Jesus will pull us through. So.
Okay, excellent. How important has having common interests been to your marriage?
Again, it hasn't really been.
I feel like we do have more. She thinks we have like nothing in common. I think we have a lot more than the
he
typical.
Thinks watching TV is a common interest.
So we like the same shows. There are shows that stereotypically women don't like Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica, or she was excited to go see the movie 1917, right? Like these aren't common, it wasn't like a horse movie, right? Or whatever, Hallmark Channel. My mom has that taste, and my dad is not thrilled about that. So I'm very happy that I actually get to watch shows that we both like. But yeah. She thinks, no, we gotta be doing the activity together. I don't know.
So we shared activity means actually doing something, an activity, not a passivity sitting in front of a screen. But
pretty much that's eating and going on a walk, I guess. Are those even activities? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that having the common interest of, sci-fi or, things like that is a common interest, because there's a lot of couples who don't have that.
Yeah.
So
I just look at my parents and I'm like, man, I don't know. My dad complained about the Hallmark Channel every time I talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, my view on the Hallmark Channel is that they have one movie.
Pretty much.
It's all the same movie, just with different characters.
Yeah.
I do like Hallmark store, though. We like Hallmark.
Yeah. I mean, you can like Hallmark, it's fine, but it's just,
no,
you're watching your own. I need to be somewhere else when it happens.
Yes.
We could not agree more with that.
Okay. Well, the next question is, have you had moments in which you wish you hadn't married, and how did you work through those moments?
I haven't. Even when I've been frustrated and or hurt or something else, I'm very glad to be in a secure and loving relationship. It sounds really cheesy, but I feel complete even if I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I haven't wished I hadn't married. Specifically, I haven't wished I haven't married him.
So I'm more impulsive. So I can't think of any major commitment I've done where I haven't at a point regretted it, whether that be college, whether that be a job, or in marriage. There's been points in all of those where I could say, oh, am I really happy or whatever, or is this really the right choice? And you think about that, but with marriage especially, I'm anchored in the biblical teaching of marriage, where it's not like a flip a thing. It isn't like, oh well, you can just leave. It's not like a subscription or something you can just cancel or whatever. So I mean, and I know myself to overreact when things are going bad or whatever. So basically in those moments I would stop and reflect and trust God to kind of that everything will be okay in the end, and it is. We've grown.
Good. Well, what one thing do you each remember from our sessions as being particularly helpful for your relationship?
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. The helpfulness quotient always seems to come back. Just the tendency towards tenderness. I forget what that measure was.
You always assume the best. Is that what you're talking about?
Like the example I gave of the kid on the playground.
Oh, and like
eats it, and then like I would be like, oh,
that was a pre-engagement thing, wasn't it?
That
the Myers-Briggs.
But he'd probably be more concerned, and that's just.
So a kid falls down in a playground, you won't like rush over. You'll just be like, he'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fine.
I don't know how that helps our marriage, but okay.
Knowing it, just
I see it so often in how we, treat the cat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yep, there it is.
We'll see what happens when we have a kid.
I think it's also a tendency. It's related to how much we worry about things. I don't really worry about stuff. He worries a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like to make up things to worry about. My useful thing that I remember was in the Sacred Marriage book, I believe, is the crazy cycle and the opposite.
That's love and respect.
Oh, love and respect. Sorry, I messed up. Oh, whatever. Love and respect. There's a lot of good books. There's the 3 books, right? Yeah. Well, whatever, including both courses. Whatever. Okay, so
good. There's a few.
Amelia has about 100 on her list.
So the crazy cycle with love and respect. Yes.
Yeah, the crazy cycle and the opposite of it, which is like the love cycle or like the reward or whatever. I mean, the whole principle is like if you like the more nice things you do, the more nice things you receive, and then the opposite will happen. Like the more bad things, mean things you'll do, the more mean things you receive. And if you have more mean things, then this is going to cause you to do even more. So it makes your marriages go worse versus it can go better, go the opposite way. So that principle was very good to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a big plug for Love and Respect by Emerson Eggridge. The crazy cycle and then the energizing cycle. Yeah, they're 2 very powerful cycles in marriage, and you definitely see them. Absolutely.
Definitely in our top 3 books.
Yep,
for sure.
Good plug. Go out and buy it if you're watching. no monetization.
No. Just love it.
Yeah.
Just love it.
What advice do you have for other couples who are considering marriage?
Ask yourself why. Why do you want to get married? Is it because all your friends are doing it? Are you just desperate?
Yeah, ask yourself what your expectations are. I think a lot of people think that marriage is about what they're going to get out of it, but the more true definition is what you're going to give to the other person. I think is a better way to think about it, because it's not like a pure plus for you. I don't know. Like there's sacrifices you have to make, basically. You have to think about that.
Being single is hard. Being single is lonely. Being married is hard and lonely. So
It can be, yeah.
That's true.
Uh,
You don't realize that marriage can be lonely until you're married. Like,
Yeah.
really realize that.
yeah,
So you can't get married just for the sole purpose of fulfilling that. That's
and seriously, married
Wow.
people were single ones too, so don't just blow that off. It's true.
yeah. I remember a quote that you used. It was from your great uncle or someone.
about loneliness.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than being lonely is wishing you were.
Yeah.
That was Uncle Willie's investment to my
But
life.
it was like lonely and married. Like,
No, he specifically said, "Be careful who you marry,
yeah, okay,
because the only thing worse than being lonely is wishing you were."
yeah. But that beginning part's important.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it is very true. Because if you believe, like we believe, that marriage is for life, then you just definitely need to be careful who you marry. So, yeah, absolutely. Well, good. Well, in hindsight, how did you know that the other person was the one for you?
This goes back to the other question. We just decided it was a commitment thing, definitely for me.
To me, it was more of an experiment, right? So we only had
Experiment?
2 weeks of actual physical dates, right? Because I waited, not intentionally. I just randomly decided to do stuff. I'm like, I don't know if because I heard nothing but bad press about long distance relationships. So then in the end, my friend's like, dude, you should just do it. I'm like, all right. So I just did it. And of course there's prayer and stuff, but so it's like after 2 weeks, it's like, okay, if this is real, then we'll keep at it, right? The long distance thing, we'll keep at the Skype and stuff, and if not, then we'll drift away, right? So that was like the ultimate test to me.
Well, I believe that he'd continue doing what he said he would do when and because he actually did drive up north to visit me during the summer before grad school.
And then I was reinforced when she actually flew down to me before she went back. So it wasn't just me always going up to wherever she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, that's kind of how we both showed commitment to each other.
But it wasn't anything like, oh, there's no one else who could possibly be for me. That's not biblical. It's
That's Hollywood.
So
That's a Hallmark movie almost, but
The heavens parted and the light shone down. No.
There were no fireworks. There was no lightning. That's disappointing, guys.
No. Well, excellent. Well, is there anything else you'd like to mention to our viewers?
I'm really glad we did it. I mean, when I first heard about it, I was very skeptical, but it ended up being very beneficial. There's a lot of things that you think even if you're like very, like sort of aware of how little that you might even know even less than you think you know. So yeah.
you find things out about the other person that you wouldn't
there's a
have
lot of
thought to
questions,
ask.
like little things like, oh, you get all their debt. Like no one thinks about that. So it's like, are you okay with that? Right? And it could be yes. All right. Then with the love and respect thing, or sacred marriage highlights, like how much self-sacrifice is in marriage for a successful marriage. Like it isn't about like what you get; it's about what you give the other person. Is kind of how you have to think about it.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. Well, thank you guys. That's been another episode of our PreEngaged Hindsight interview, and we will see you guys next time.